Gelato, gelato, gelato. What's poppin', bro? It's Dante, and today I'm just thinking about camera orientation, right? How to know when to place your camera in horizontal orientation versus vertical orientation. I think this becomes much more interesting when using a Ricoh due to the nature of the camera. You kind of become one with the camera, and the way that you approach photography is much more loose, free-flowing. I like to hold the camera like this with my thumb underneath, middle finger on the shutter, index finger on the top part. Sometimes I'll even use my ring finger, and this allows me to actually orient the camera and press the shutter very fluidly, where, you know, I'm not trying to line things up perfectly, but I'm trying to experiment and play with the orientation of the camera itself, embracing the tilt, embracing the vertical format, and trying stuff with the orientation, right? You know, when to determine a horizontal versus a vertical frame, right? I think this is kind of obvious. Like, these two people is a vertical. Tried to frame them in between that door so that you can then have this sort of separation between the subject and the background. I think that pairs work well as verticals. Single subjects like that guy in front of the door there. When these people come by, the guy in the background, this becomes a horizontal composition because you have three subjects. So there was two people, one person pushing on the wheelchair, one person in the background. Yeah, you have to sort of work with the scene itself. See, I thought of that potential picture as a vertical at first, just considering the person in the background, which is there, seated. But then these two people came into the frame where the man is pushing him on the wheelchair, and you have like this bit of light on the left. And yeah, I guess, you know, it's all intuition. I guess those were two examples, vertical versus horizontal. I think that the horizontal frame happens when there's more dynamics. For instance, that scene right there that I just photographed, right? We have three subjects, clean separation between the foreground and the background. There's also a moment happening. The man is gazing back towards this man, so there's like a connection there. And it's not like a perfectly straight composition, as the way I'm holding the camera is much more loose, free-flowing. They came to the right of me using that T-Rex technique that I showed on my YouTube channel. I don't know where to put the camera down, but basically, if I can put the camera down somewhere, I can showcase it. Or you just hold the camera loosely and photograph to the right and left of you. Kind of just holding your water bottle, your camera in both hands. Or if you don't have the water bottle, just hold your hands up like this and just snapping to the right of you, right? And kind of just being loose with the way that you shoot, so that you don't disturb the piece and you're able to make pictures with these. Holding the camera like so, vertical, horizontal, sometimes ring finger, sometimes middle finger, keeping the thumb underneath. Sometimes you can play with the way that you hold the Ricoh, depending on the scene in front of you, and making pictures in a more loose and free approach. Just some simple thoughts on camera orientation and the Ricoh GR3. How to know when to photograph vertical versus horizontal. Just a few thoughts.